Aduh nih, Adit. Lu mulai apa gimana ya? Laris Alon. Oh, saya nonton. Live kan? What no? Nggak ada match-nya.
Dire team pick.
Save. Muka. Empire Games. AUI. Mati dulu. Watch. Nah. Ngantuk ya.
This one is in the bag.
Prepare for battle.
You were beneath me. I do not concern myself with the bag, for I know its contents well.
It's in the bag. The worms will have you.
Promises are dangerous, mortal one.
"30 seconds to battle."
Keren sapi.
The battle begins! The red mist spreads at Radiant's middle tower.
Thank you.
Langsung drop dong.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Roots and run. Radiant structures are fortified. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Mixture rise.
Hear you.
not what it used to be, that is for certain. Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Baik nih.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack. The red team threats at Radiant's middle tower. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Much like cordwood before axe's axe, Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower has fallen.
To his spiky end.
Shadows, take us.
Woi. Oh, iya. Apa itu? Hah? Apa tuh? Aku lupa anjing. Aku lupa. Biarin aja anjing.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Mama, tadi tuh.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified with 12 important vitamins and minerals. Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower has fallen. Are you going to do something about that?
I'll take that.
Apa?
Gua ini. Bakar. Mana? Kapan? Mandi belum balik. Mandi belum. Balik kapan?
Step lively now. Your battle is on board.
Regeneration.
Bentar ya guys ya.
He's under attack.
I fear nothing that moves in the night.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Axis, please! Dyer's middle tower is not what it used to be. That is for certain.
Yes, bounty!
Jadi
What is the One Piece? What happened during the Void Century? And how will One Piece, the possibly most well-written story of our time, end? These are the three biggest questions that every One Piece fan is burning to get answers to above anything else. And every now and then a theory comes around, an idea so wild and different that no matter how unlikely it might be to actually turn out to be the truth, it completely turns our perspective on One Piece completely on its head. This is one of these ideas that has a very unconventional and radical take on the final twist of Luffy's adventure to become the king of the pirates and change the world. Why? Well, because it involves one of the, if not the most controversial tropes of storytelling, time travel. And yet, even though I'm usually very skeptic of this concept myself, if what I'm about to tell you is actually true, it would make the most satisfying ending to One Piece that I personally have yet come across. So, based on the most recent developments in the story, we've all taken it for granted by now that Luffy is Joy Boy. Whether that means that he's possessed, has awakened his spirit, or simply has inherited his will, many people were quite skeptical about the idea that Luffy might stop being only Luffy, but become a child of prophecy who was destined to do great things right from the start. And so rightfully there was the worry that Luffy being some sort of reincarnation might take away from his achievements and being the special and unique person who we all have grown to love and cheer for over over many years. All of this now thrown overboard with the reveal that Luffy is Joy Boy, the man Roger and Odin and many others have been waiting for. But what if we actually got it all wrong? What if it's one of Eiichiro Oda's famous red herrings? Like how Teach said that he didn't have the type of ambition to become the 2nd Division commander because of course he had much greater ambitions than that. Or how the Gomu Gomu no Mi was a mythical zone fruit all along. So what if Luffy wasn't really Joy Boy? What if Joy Boy was actually Luffy, who traveled back to the Void Century? Sounds absolutely ridiculous at first, but you might be surprised how well this would actually fit into the storyline overall. And so even if I wouldn't rate this as the most probable thing to happen in the story, I'm sure you will enjoy the conclusion to this just as much as I did. It all started with a mysterious message I got a few weeks ago from a subscriber of this channel who shared with me a number of articles and posts about the idea that the strange world of One Piece might be the result of a time loop or time leap happening. Now, a lot of these ideas were basically pure fan fiction. However, a few ideas here and there stood out to me as quite interesting at that point already. For instance, how certain events seem to repeat themselves throughout the story. The government that has apparently conducted major cleansings throughout the centuries. Very similar people like Joy Boy, Noland, or Roger repeatedly popping up in different eras. How the Void Century and people of the past keep communicating with the present through objects like the poneglyphs or inherited will. And of course, the parallel between Luffy's straw hat and the giant straw hat on Marijoa kept by Imu, the secret ruler of the world, who, by the way, looks a lot like a giant hand on a clock sitting on her throat. And in general, as you know, time shenanigans are and always have been a very popular theme in anime and manga. Say, for example, Your Name. However, the thing that finally got my full attention on this idea was a 2-year-old video by a smaller One Piece YouTuber called Otherwise Ace, who published a really awesome video titled Luffy is the original Joy Boy from the Void Century, long before Zunisha ever recognized Luffy's awakening as Joy Boy. Big shout out to him, I'll leave a link to his video in the description below. Okay, so in his video, he gives a bunch of wonderfully collected evidence how Luffy and the Straw Hats time traveling back into the Void Century would fit surprisingly well with the story up till now. And given what we now know about Luffy and his devil fruit, I think this all has become just the more likely and fascinating. But before we talk about how Luffy and co would even get into the past, let's just assume for a second that they do for now. The most interesting and mysterious clue about Laugh Tale and the One Piece that we've gotten in the story so far is the Roger pirates actually arriving there and literally bursting into laughter, most likely after reading Joy Boy's story, as Roger himself comments that he would have loved to meet Joy Boy and be born in the same era as him. An era, by the way, that as far as we know was just mainly war and destruction. Well, if Luffy were Joy Boy, that would mean that Roger was actually reading the story of the Straw Hats that we have been reading up to this point as well. A story that is meant to bring us joy with all its adventures and a quirky crew, and Luffy being the person who will change the world by going back in time. And I think it would also be hilarious to Roger and co, because not only would they be reading the best story ever, but also follow the adventures of someone who will be born 20 years in their future. They themselves will be included in the story written on the poneglyphs as well. They will know all about how they themselves helped Luffy reach his goal. Pretty meta, I know, but let's be real.
for battle!